Welcome back. And it's time to put in the hands of Ibrahim Adra in Abuja. Hi, Ibrahim. Great to see you.
Hey, hello, Amarachi. Now, the judiciary is reaffirming its support for the federal government in its fight against corruption. Addressing judges of the Federal High Court in Abuja, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoge, who was represented by the President of the Court of Appeal, vowed to sanction erring members of the judiciary. He called on judges to be upright in the daily discharge of their duties.
The Chief Judge of the Federal High Court sets the tone for the event, urging the judges to be diligent at all times.
It is our practice in the Federal High Court from inception for honorable judges of the court to meet annually to appraise the activities of previous years with a view to finding solutions and to identify some problems with a view to solving them. In the process of finding solutions to identify problems, honorable judges sincerely correct and apportion blames to their erring brother judges before they eventually rededicate themselves to the core values of our calling and profession. This year has been the tonic and tool with which we enter into the new legal year with more determination and vigor.
For the Chief Justice of Nigeria, who was represented at the occasion by the President of the Court of Appeal, partnering with the federal government in fighting corruption remains a key agenda of the judiciary.
I would also like to stress the fact that the judiciary remains committed in its responsibility towards the fight to tackle corruption as spearheaded by the federal government. I seize this opportunity to urge all other stakeholders involved in the dispensation of justice to perform their own roles effectively.
The one-day annual conference is aimed at bracing up judges of the Federal High Court for the challenges of a new legal year.
Now to the issues of workers' welfare. Some former staff of the Nigerian Airways today protested in Lagos and Kano over what they termed delayed payment of their gratuities by the defunct airline. In Lagos, the protesters, numbering over 500, walked through the airport road carrying placards with various inscriptions depicting their plight and demand. Some of the former workers were accompanied by members of their families in Kano to peacefully protest the non-payment of their gratuities.
It's been 13 years since Nigeria Airways Limited went under. Over the years, the workers of one of Africa's greatest carriers have clamored for a payoff, although the workers were last paid between 2007 and 2008. In Lagos, ex-workers of the defunct airline on the inner airport road, some carrying placards bearing various inscriptions. They are taking what they describe as a protest work to express their displeasure over the delay in the disbursement of their 78 billion naira severance package.
We have gone there, but everything's been done in secret. So want the president of the nation to intervene and ask and tell them to release the funds we know those funds have been released already. They have been released because a bond was floated and matured in June. So we want him to tell them to do what they should be needful.
In Kano, northwest Nigeria, the story is the same as former northern staff gathered to plead with government authorities to ensure that the monies are paid.
We serve this nation as much as we could to the tune of 35 years in service. What we're appealing to the Mr. President is, please, we know your Minister of State in Aviation has tried his best. In as much as we call on him to still continue to help us to pursue this thing, we call on you, please, sir, to help and see that our suffering is reduced to the barest minimum.
Reports say that the calculations of the payoff that came up to 78 billion naira include 10 years arrears of pension and 10 years of advance payment, which, if paid, would finally rest all labor issues concerning the defunct national carrier.
More trouble may be looming in Nigeria's health sector as the joint health sector unions, JOHESU, has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the federal government to address their demands or down tools. The health workers are demanding for the payment of promotion arrears to their members, abolition of scale-to-scale promotion, and the implementation of all court judgments giving in their favor. And the federal government has been struggling to reach an agreement with resident doctors who have been on strike for more than 1 week, a situation that has unleashed untold hardship on patients in public hospital.
I welcome you all to this press conference, which is intended to inform Nigerians of our intention to down tools as from the midnight of Wednesday, 20th September 2017. If all our demands, over which we have been negotiating since 2012, are not met. On the 10th of May 2012, agreements were reached on issues concerning our members. Issues upon which we could not agree were referred to the National Industrial Court, NICN. We were in court till August 2013, when judgment was given in favor of JOHESU on skipping of Congress 10. The Federal Ministry of Health has been frustrating the implementation of the court judgments by introducing same-scale promotion. For instance, when members are promoted from Congress 9 to 11, at subsequent promotions, they will be promoted from Congress 11 to Congress 11. This is totally unacceptable. We are therefore left with no option than to give a final 7 days ultimatum with effect from Thursday, 14th September 2017. And if by the midnight of Wednesday, 20th September 2017, our demands are not met, all our members nationwide are called upon to embark on indefinite total strike action.
And coming up on business news, 3 of the 5 major sectors lifted the NSE's all-share index at the close of midweek trading today.
You first. First Bank.
Welcome to Business News. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has set up 8 committees to return 3 of the country's refineries to full capacity utilization, in line with the presidential mandate, which set a target of 2019. The committees are to handle aspects of financing, legal, procurement, pipeline and crude oil supply, security, staffing, and succession planning. The Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Maikanti Baru, who inaugurated the committees, says some persons have shown interest in financing the rehabilitation project. The International Energy Agency today revised its global oil growth demand, which it hopes will increase this year despite the challenges in the market. The IEA September report, which was released today, shows that demand grew by 2.3 million barrels per day in the second quarter of 2017, prompting the Paris-based organization to raise its growth projection for 2017 to 1.6 million barrels per day and 1.4 million barrels per day for 2018. The revision is an increase from its earlier forecast in the month of August, where it estimated the annual growth to hit 1.5 million barrels per day. The central bank today announced plans to sell 140.9 billion naira worth of treasury bills at an auction on September the 21st. The financial regulator says it will use the Dutch auction system to offer 28.12 billion naira of 3-month debt, 23.68 billion naira of the 6-month bills, and 89 billion naira of the 1-year notes, while settlement for the offer will be made after the auction. The CBN Treasury Bills sells Treasury Bills twice a month to help fund government's budget deficit, curb inflation and support commercial lenders in managing liquidity. 3 of the 5 major sectors lifted the NSE All-Share Index at the close of trading today after 2 straight negative sessions this week. Bisi Adebayo has the details. Sincerely apologize for that technical hitch. While African markets closed Wednesday's session all in the red and second straight gain for Wall Street, but it's mixed performance for Asian and European equities after a sharp decline in mining stocks weighed on the markets. Here are the figures for Wednesday. And that's business news for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwaudo. It's back to you, Marachi.
You first. First Bank.
Still ahead on the news at 10, International Olympic Committee awards the 2024 Olympics to Paris and the 2028 edition to Los Angeles. That's in sports news. Please join us again.